It's Van Marmalade, and you're watching the Comics-Related Madness Network. Huh? So come get some. CromCon.
Hey, we want to shout out to our sponsors, Daytona Beach Comic Con. If you are a fan of comic books, if you're a fan of comic book conventions, and if you like meeting comic book creators and getting comics and comic-related stuff, then you need to make your plans to attend Daytona Beach Comic Con. This year's show is September 7th and 8th. Silverline will be there, so you should make your plans to be there too. We'll see you there. If you like comics and find yourself in the Orlando, Florida area, doesn't everyone come to Orlando at some point in time to see the House of Mouse? But when you're here, you need to make it a point to visit Coliseum of Comics, especially the one on East Colonial Drive. They carry Silverline Comics, even a limited edition Coliseum of Comics version of our comics. So, when you go, be sure to ask for Silverline Comics and tell them we sent you. OCD stands for Orlando Collector Deviants. OCD, Steve and Trish. They're a family of geeks who promote geek things, particularly those around the Orlando, Florida area. They're big supporters of Silverline, and we think you should be supporters of theirs too. Go give them some love. If you are an independent comic book maker and you need to get your independent comics made, you need to look no further than Kablam Digital Printing. They print our books, and they do a bang-up job. They're not only trusted by Silverline, but many, many independent comic book makers. Head on over to kablam.com and see for yourself just how easy it is to have your comic printed by them. And tell them Silverline sent you.
Hi, this is Tim TK, host of That Silverline Show on Tuesday. Join us at 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Pacific every Tuesday night as we discuss pop culture and the joys of making comics.
Hi, I'm Barb Kilber, co-host of Silverline's Wednesday Lamb. Join us each Wednesday night as we discuss comics, literature, movies, and anything else that may catch our attention.
I'm Roland Mann, and I host Silverline's Silver Sunday. Join me every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern as we make mine Silverline.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Silverline's Silver Sunday. I almost forgot what we were doing. Silverline Silver Sunday. This is July 28th, 2024, year of our Lord. I am your host. I am Roland Man, and I am excited to be coming to you on this San Diego Comic-Con day. I am, of course, joined, as usual, with my buddy here, Mr. Mike W. Belcher, that man in the mask guy. What's up, Mike?
Howdy. I'm in a lesson of perspective tonight. You guys are in the head and I'm back. So drawing lessons abound tonight.
That sounds good. And of course, we were also joined by that everyday con artist, Mr. Thomas Florimonte Jr. What's up, Tommy?
Howdy do. How's everybody? Trying to get my volume turned up here. I can't remember what button to press.
Yeah, it usually has a plus sign on it.
Oh, it's all of the stuff is set up from when I was on in Mississippi a couple of weeks ago, so everything's all screwed up. So give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Well, while you're doing that, I'll go ahead and share here. Let's go remind you guys that we have a campaign going on. We have Divinity. This completes the arc 1 through 4. You guys can jump over there and get Divinity 1 through. If you didn't get, this is for number 4 technically, but if you didn't get 1, 2, and 3, you can jump on and get them all. It tells you the whole story. There's all kinds of stuff here. I think I can scroll. I have one screen tonight, so that's a little different for me. You see, there's all kinds of stuff. You can get just the single issue. You can get the 2 issues. You can get the foil. Where's the foil here? You guys see how beautiful these foils are. Those are just gorgeous. And of course, yes, they're printed by our good pals at Kablam. But these are beautiful, beautiful. This video doesn't even do it justice. That's the thing about it. These things are so fantastic. They look great.
You know what's really cool about that video is whoever's doing the hand posing in there, they got nice hands. I don't know who that is.
I don't know. Maybe they should look to get a job as a hand model. You think?
They might should. They might should.
Yeah. So and as a reminder, where did that come from? As a reminder, y'all, the only way you can get these foil covers are through these campaigns. They are not available anywhere else. They are not going to be available after the campaign is over. So if you like these shiny, cool, exclusive things, well, then now is the time for you to get it. As we scroll down here, you see that there's all kinds of stuff. We've got art available as well. You can see if the image is gone, if the page is gone, you see this here, this gorgeous Kevin West cover, it's gone. We're sold out, right? But you guys, man, there's still all kinds of. There's a piece by Rick Hoberg and Barb here. And of course, there's the cover for number 3 that was done by Dean Zachary and inked by Thomas Formonti. That one's still available.
I can't believe that one's still available.
I can't either. And of course, then this pencil cover by Jose Fuentes for this issue for number 4.
That one's cool too. I don't know why.
That's what I'm saying.
What are you people waiting on?
I know.
You shouldn't.
There's and the other thing is see, there's a page that's gone. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and I think we mentioned this last time here, is that there are a few more pencil pages than inked pages up here from Barb. And that's because there's some here, but that's because Barb is shifting to all digital. Barb is moving her inks all digital, and so once those inks are gone that she's done, there's going to be no more original Barb pages left. And of course, you can still get back issues if you miss something. You say, hey, I didn't pick this one up. This is your opportunity to get those as well. You see, we've got some folks here got a bunch of the back issues. So. And then we've got some deals on a couple of sets, right? If you want to pick up the entire 4-issue arc of Kalis, you can get that just for $10. So there's a couple of those in here. You can see there's some sets. So you guys jump over there. We still got 10 days to go, so a little bit more than a week. And we are 65% funded. So I can't do math, but we are about 1,500 and something. No, about 500 and something from goal.
Yeah, a little less than about $500. Yeah.
So jump over there and back that campaign if you can. Madness, Pops. Hey, Pops, what's going on? Matt said they were needing the link. Oh, sorry, not in the description. It's all my bad there. So yeah, jump over there, Fund My Comic campaign. Just actually, if you just go to Fund My Comic, Divinity pops up. I think it's top recommended campaigns there. So
yeah, it's on the top of the list.
Yep, at the top of the list. And Logan says here, Kablam's a great company to work with. Logan, we agree with you.
Logan, 100%. Buddy.
Oh, somebody Mike knows. All right.
Yeah.
Well, Logan, thanks for hanging out with us. We're going to ask a bunch of silly questions tonight. So if you've got one that you can think of that we should ask once we get into it, feel free to post it, and we'll make sure we cover that. Pops reminds us that if you like what we do and want to join the Madness Entertainment Group, contact us at thepopsvanzant@gmail.com. You can donate here. There's a GoFundMe to help us do what we're doing. We are part of a network of other streams that are like-minded in the sense of we all like comic books, we all like geeky things. So if you guys like hearing your favorite comic book creators come on and talk about that kind of stuff, you need to support the network.
Pops actually trying to get us on Roku. They have a specific Roku channel, so
that would be very cool. Yeah. Pops always harder. Pops is one of those. He's one of those unseen guys, right? He's behind the scenes.
Oh, he'll pop up though, so
he pops up from time to time just to prove he's real, I think. Logan says,
Or,
Mike!
it might be that little puppet thing that he's got.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that thing. We've had people before say, what's with the Muppet? I'm like, yeah, I don't know, but I love it.
And we ought to make little puppets of all of us and then just sit behind the scene. And
Exactly.
You can do it. Yeah. We have a puppet show just of all of us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think so. Yeah. Pop says, thanks, Roland. Of course, Pops, we love you, man. Yeah, so you guys make sure you support the network because like I said, we're just a bunch of comic book makers making comics, trying to have fun doing this, and we want to support each other, and we want you to come out and support all of us. So
I've got a question for you, Roland.
Okay.
What's with the really cool wood paneling in the background? Did you that's kind of cool.
You like that?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Is that a virtual background? No, that's a real background.
I had my walls redone.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. I thought the paneling from the 1970s was so cool. I needed it on my walls. You remember that paneling from the 1970s, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna see if I can't find me the background.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did it go? Here we go. Marmalade is RJ from Critical Blast. So, and of course, we're big fans of Critical Blast as well. RJ is always very welcoming and anxious to have flyers over and promote. In fact, I think he just had Barb on Wednesday, and I saw some stuff. I didn't get to see it live, and I haven't seen the episode yet, RJ. I will, but I know some of the cool things that he was able to do and surprise Barb with. It was very, very cool. Hopefully I'll get to, if you guys didn't see it, I'm going to try to I won't be able to get it this next week, but maybe the next week I'll show you some of the stuff he's done. And it's very, very cool. San Diego Comic-Con is probably wrapping up right now as we speak. And of course, anyone who's in the comic book industry knows that's a big deal in the comics. It actually kind of turned into a big deal in media as far as movies and Marvel and DC and all those other kind of things. I've only really heard one big piece of news coming out of
I heard something really weird.
Well,
it's bothering me a little bit.
I want to talk about the thing that I heard a little bit, and then of course
probably the same thing.
It might be, and of course we can talk about anything that you got, because this is big. It's what we do, right? But Robert Downey Jr. has been tagged to play Dr. Doom.
I had to do some research. I remember some of my Marvel history and stuff, and there was the time that happened in the comic books, right?
I don't remember Tony Stark ever being Dr. Doom.
No, I think it was like the other way around. Dr. Doom actually was Iron Man. For what I thought I remember that, and I read a little bit about it earlier today, and it was I'm not quite certain. I wish somebody would do a little bit of research to do it, but there was a mini series or something where Dr. Doom was Iron Man. So it's kind of weird that they're flipping.
Well, I will tell you this: I'm pretty stoked about it, right? For a couple of reasons, and I'll tell you why.
I need to know what the story is.
Well, that's me, right? Tony Stark, from perspective, Victor Von Doom was not. I'm sorry, Tony Stark was Iron Man. He was not Dr. Doom in the comic books. That's they're not the same characters or anything like that. No. But the way so part of this is I've given up on the movies being my comics, right? They're not my comics. They are more adaptations of what my comics were, because again, a lot of people know I'm a big fan of the Vision, and what they did with the Vision is not from the comic books.
No, it's not
really. And so I was kind of disappointed in that. I thought Paul Bettany did a great job as the Vision. I thought he was a very good Vision. Don't get me wrong, but I was kind of like, I don't really I wanted this and I wanted these other things to happen, and it didn't happen. And so I've kind of given up on the idea that the Marvel movies are my comics, and they're not, right? And so I can enjoy them that way. And so my thinking is this: if they're going to take Iron Man to the next level, if they're going to take the Tony Stark character to the next level, we saw what he did in Civil War, right? We saw all of these things. The next logical kind of move, look at you trying to find family. The next logical kind of move is to have him become Dr. Doom. And I'm kind of okay with that if they do the story that way.
Do y'all remember how the last Marvel movie ended with all of them in there? I'm trying to remember exactly what happened to Tony Stark at the end of the last movie.
He died.
Did he?
Yeah, I think so. Didn't he? Thanos burned him up or something like that, and then they had a big funeral scene. What's that?
I said using the gauntlet, burn him up.
Yeah. And that's so he was killed. But here's the thing: these are comic books.
Yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out how they're gonna.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, so is it going to be Tony Stark is going to be Dr. Doom, or is it Dr. Doom just so happens to be the twin brother of Tony Stark?
Well, so I read some I don't know how accurate this is. Pop says they should have just kept doing What If and never done alternate universe stuff. This is a great What If story.
Yeah.
So what I read is that part of the reason they're doing all of this, it's not a big multiverse stuff, but part of the reason that they're doing all this multiverse stuff is what we're going to see is this is going to be Tony Stark from an alternate universe who is going to come over as Dr. Doom. But this is also the way that they're going to use this whole multiverse thing to get Tony Stark / Dr. Doom here. They're going to get the Fantastic Four introduced, and then they're going to get the X-Men. Basically, they're doing a crisis, is what's happening. And
I thought they were working on the Secret Wars thing right now. That's
I think that's part of all of what's going to happen. Is that we're going to see all these alternate universes, right? And then they're going to collect them all together now that Marvel owns all the stuff again, or as Logan says. He got Infinity Gauntleted.
Apparently, okay. I need to go back and rewatch it because I just saw that. I saw it yesterday, and then I guess it was yesterday, and then today I did some research, and then we come on the show, and I didn't do enough research.
Yeah, well, that was. I know there's all kind, and I'm sure we'll be hearing this week all kind of news coming out of San Diego Comic-Con. But that was the one thing that kind of flew across my radar that I went, "Whoa, what?" Robert Downey Jr. is I've already seen some negatives about it. I'm like, give it a chance.
The last that I heard or thought I heard was that Robert Downey Jr. was wanting to not make any more superhero movies, and that was the reason why he asked for Iron Man to get killed or whatever they did to him, and then now he's going to play Dr. Doom. It just seems really weird. I don't know.
Well, of money, I'm sure Marvel parked in his house.
And this is what I've said before. Everyone has a price.
Yeah, but
once you hear people say,
once all this money's involved in it, is when it starts getting to suck really bad, and people are saying that it's sucking already. So to me, that doesn't sound like a great recipe for us.
I don't know. I think he's done a great job as Iron Man.
I do too. I love it. You and I talked about it before. I don't like Iron Man in the comics, but I love the movie Iron Man. Same way with Thor. I'm not a big Thor fan, but I love the movie Thor because it's just stupid and silly. Because I'm a stupid and silly kind of guy, so it works out great for me.
Pop says he heard that he got on stage and said, "I hate you 3000." which that's kind of a smart little move there.
We'll see.
Yeah. That was kind of the big. I'm sure the longer things go, the more we're going to learn about it. But that's been the big thing that I've seen.
Well, those mock-up pictures of him look really good. I mean, it looks pretty cool. I'm sure it's all just AI art versions of him, but it looks really good.
And I'm gonna think too that with him being involved, he's the only thing that my son Brett and I were talking about. The only problem with a character like Dr. Doom is that you expect to see Dr. Doom in his mask 99% of the time. Is a famous handsome actor like Robert Downey Jr. going to be willing to wear the mask like that the overwhelming majority of time?
It's kind of like the dude that's playing the Mandalorian guy or whatever. The reason why he's not really doing it that much is because he was in the mask the whole time. So now they're just using his voice.
Yeah.
And he's not even doing the part anymore.
Logan says, I'm too much of a curmudgeon to dig all the mucking around. Leave my childhood alone.
Yes.
I think so. Get out of my yard. I don't know. You kids quit playing in my yard.
Pop says he loves you as Iron Man. He'll hate you as Doom. I don't know. I'm kind of excited about it, just because it's RDJ and he brings excitement to a lot of it, and I think that if you've seen the last couple of Marvel things, they've sucked. They haven't been very good. If we can get back involved in it, maybe the quality will go back up. That's just me thinking a little bit.
But
I did it because I watched the Marvels. Did either of y'all watch it?
Oh, that was pretty bad.
No.
But
Mike it was so bad. See, Mike haven't even watched it. He's so disinterested in it. He's not watched it. Well, we watched it. Thought it was terrible, right? We just thought it was horrible. And when I say we, I'm talking about me and BJ, me and my wife BJ. We didn't like it. So, but we didn't see Madam Web. Well, I haven't seen that one because I just didn't care. It just didn't look that interesting to me.
What about the Deadpool Wolverine movie?
I am excited about that.
Nuts.
It's
I know people that have seen it 2 or 3 times already.
Already?
My brother's even gone twice. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
And he's not he just likes comic book stuff because of me. He was never a really big fan. Yeah. He thinks it's great.
Yeah. No, we'll probably not.
Have you gone to see it, Mike?
Huh?
Have you seen it yet?
No, I've got the double whammy of not liking Deadpool, and I can't stand Ryan Reynolds. We put those two together.
Like Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds. We haven't gone yet. We were supposed to go today, and it didn't work out.
I'm not a Deadpool fan, but I do like Ryan Reynolds. But Brett's a Deadpool fan. So we'll probably go see it next week. Probably won't see it this week. Probably see it next week. But yeah. I've heard lots of big thumbs up about it as well. Apparently there's a lot of cameos in there.
Really trying to stay away from all that stuff.
Yes, same here.
My brother is just so nuts, Chuck. I don't think you've ever met Chuck. Have you, Roland? Yeah, my brother Chuck. He keeps sending me these pictures. He goes, "This guy was in it," and I'm like, "I know Ant-Man wasn't in the movie. Ant-Man's not in the movie. Quit sending me." And he goes, "Man, the Red Hulk looked really good." And I said, "I don't think the Red Hulk was in the movie." And he goes, "He may have been." And I was like, "Shut up! Please, quit messing with me. Let me go see the movie, and then we can talk about it." And he's like, "How long are you gonna wait before you go see it?" And I'm like, "Well."
Pop said, talking about Dr. Doom, bet the camera won't be inside this mask. How they used to do with Iron Man to show him.
Oh yeah.
That's the other thing is he's supposed to have a really messed up face. So of course, maybe if he thinks he's supposed to have a messed up face, he'll keep the mask on. So,
well, you know, in some of the Kirby ones, it turned out he only had a little tiny scar.
I know.
He was so vain that he thought this little tiny scar. Now, I think eventually he gets completely scarred up.
Yeah.
But I think initially when the Doom mask goes on, he was just a little tiny one. He's so vain.
I don't remember that.
That way. Yeah, I think it was in a very early Fantastic Four story about Doom.
Oh, that's pretty funny. I don't recall that. So did you guys hear any other news?
Another DC reboot. I mean, up to 11.
Another DC boot?
Well, I don't know. They're trying not to call it a reboot, but they're doing an absolute line, which is their version of the Ultimate Universe. And you've got 7-foot-tall bodybuilder Batman, who's a city engineer, not a rich guy. And Wonder Woman, who's a witch from hell.
Oh my gosh.
And Superman only gets to Earth in his teens and has no family, no fortress, no anything. But they're true to the character, to the core of the character.
Well, they probably got
for me.
They probably got the same people that wrote the Acolyte to write the new.
We haven't seen that yet, but it is on our list to see, but we haven't seen
Don't
it
worry
yet.
with it.
Well, that's kind of what Brett says.
It's not even going to be canon. They're going to put it to the back of the closet somewhere and pretend like it never happened.
Logan says, I think when he first put on the mask, it seared his whole face. That's kind of what I was.
Because it was still hot. He just finished making it. He goes, I wonder how this will look. And he burned his face.
He pulls it out of the fire. Oh, let me see what this one is.
He's banging on it. The guy that is
I've got this hot sword here. I wonder what happens if I touch it to my face.
Yeah.
Okay,
you go to the Mexican place and they bring you the hot fajitas. It's hot. And you go, no, it's not. You go, yes, it is. It's really hot.
All right, so tonight we're gonna have a little bit of fun. It was called a random Q&A, but one of the things I decided to do was, and we've never done this on a Sunday, but I know Barb has done it on Wednesday before. So we're gonna do a this or that kind of thing. Instead of random Q&As, there's gonna be a this or that, where you've got to choose one or the other. And of course, instead, don't just give here's my choice. Kind of give a little why, right? We talk about it. So I've got up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 10 different websites that has this or that questions, and so I'm just going to, unless you guys got something else, I'm just going to dive in. Oh, by the way, and I don't have images of it. For all of you who order our comics through the comic shops, check out your latest catalog, and you'll find in there Twilight Grim #1.
Excellent.
Yep, written by R.A. Jones with art from Rob Davis, colors by Mickey Clausen, and letters by this guy right over there.
Yeah.
Go to your comic shop and tell them to order lots of copies, because you've heard about this cool new company called Silverline, and you want them to support. I want them to support Silverline and put copies on their shelves, because we're going to be around for a little while, and you need to let them know that they got to get in on the ground floor. So we're trying to figure out some way to figure out what stores, we can't, I shouldn't say we can't, we could probably pay for it, but we don't have that kind of money. We don't have a list of the stores that order our comics. We would like to, but if we could find out some way, all these stores that get our comics, we'd like to kind of, reward them somehow, but we don't have the kind of money. Oh, here we go right here. I love this comment here. Scott Wilson said, Man in the Mask is one of my favorite series to read. Mike, did you pick up the new Rocketeer book?
Not yet. The one with Stas Johnson's art. I think it's on my pool. I haven't been in the shop for a while, but yeah, I'm going to, and looking forward to it.
Very cool. And Scott, we agree with you. Man in the Mask is an awesome book.
And congratulations, Scott, on Exciting Comics. Saw you in the catalog.
Woot woot. So he's got a new book in the catalog?
He's going with Anarchy Press, where they have that anthology, the Exciting Comics anthology.
Gotcha. Right.
His book, The Flock's in that. Will be in that.
Nice.
Issue 47.
Ben Dunn is good people.
He is.
Big fan of Ben Dunn. All right, so here we go. First, this or that question. Would you rather have a bad haircut or a bad dye job? Hair dye job.
Oh. Bad haircut.
No, I'd like to have enough hair for both. Well, either or sounds good to me. I won't turn to either or. But no, I think I'd rather have a bad dye job. I've been able to live with a bad haircut.
Yeah. In this current, what my hair is growing, which is still growing, a bad haircut wouldn't last very long because my hair grows pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would say I'd rather have a bad haircut because it would just grow back in about a week or two. It would be fine.
That's going to be me. I'd rather have a bad haircut because my hair grows quickly. And you can kind of, let it grow out a little bit and then maybe even fix it. Scott says, thank you so much. And then he says he'd rather have a bad a dye job, sorry. And then he said, just shave it off.
There you go.
Logan says,
if you have a bad a bad dye job and a bad haircut.
Look, it says I already have a bad haircut, so I guess I'll go with the dye job.
Yeah. Logan's got a nice head of hair.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's I consider one of those people that are blessed with a full head. I get it from my mom, so I'm glad. I'm very fortunate for that. Pop says, I never dyed my hair and don't trust people too close to my head with scissors.
Just let it keep growing.
Pops has watched too many mafia movies, right?
Uh-oh.
Okay. Here we go. Talking pets or talking babies?
I'd rather have a talking pet. Because or you mean like if I had children, do I want the babies to talk? What do you think that they're?
So let's think. Would you want others? Let's think others. Would you rather me have talking babies or talking pets?
No, I've already figured out. I'd rather have talking pets because I've already said that kids under a certain age, they're numbskulls anyway. So I don't want to hear, even the ones that can talk, I don't want to hear them talk. So I think I'd rather have talking pets. I'd like to know what my little Gabby girl's trying to tell me sometimes.
Yeah. Like,
that's a hard
Mike's
one.
about to say, I wish my kid didn't talk now, is what he's trying to say.
Well, not so much that. I just harken back when he was, 8 or 9 months old.
Yeah.
And, had little swellings under his neck. I just wish he could have told me if he was ailing. Or what was wrong, So I'm talking babies, just because I lived through that. So
yeah, maybe if it was my kids, it'd be good. But other people's kids, no, I don't want to hear them now.
Yeah, yeah. Logan says, "Thanks, Mike. He borrowed it from Alan Moore. His hair. I think I'm gonna go with kids, with babies. Even though I still find all those movies with the talking babies a little, like, y'all probably remember Rugrats and everything.
Yeah,
all those a little weird. But I also find all the talking animals a little bit weird. And I don't want to come to your house, Tommy, and then have Gabby tell me all the stuff that you're doing. Did you know that Tommy does this?
No, shut up. Yeah, she would ramble on too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's good that the way that it is. The kids don't talk, the babies don't talk, and the animals don't talk. That's probably
good. Yeah. I think you're probably right on that. All right, so a couple gaming questions here. PC or console games?
Console. I can't PC. I've never been able to game on PC.
I do more of the console stuff, but I do like having a really good PC that I can play games on, because to me it's just that you can just get so much more stuff, I think.
Yeah. I'm gonna go PC as well. I think there's so much the variety of games on the PC for me is so much better. We're on Steam, of course. So I think a lot of gamers are on Steam, and I'm a strategy gamer at heart. So consoles don't really have kind of strategy games. They've got a lot of action games and that kind of thing. And actually, Brett and I are talking about getting the PlayStation, the new Xbox, simply because the new college football game is out, and we don't have a way to play it. So he came to me the other day. He said, "Hey, man, let's go halves on the game console, and we'll get the new college football game." So I think we're gonna do that. But we other than that, we played. I'm trying to remember what we played when the kids were younger. We played a game called Worms, in which you each built a little fortress and shot bombs at the other person, trying to kill their worms on tops of their castles and stuff. It's kind of fun. We played some Minecraft, right, when it was first out. We played some racing games, which those were on the console. But now Brett and I, he and I we play a lot of stuff on the games over Steam together. Things like, anyone who plays games, things like Age of Empires, Sid Meier's Civilization. Brett, plays a lot of PUBG, so we're down there and play PUBG with him sometimes. There's just so much variety. We can do a lot of that stuff. Scott says Manor Lords took a couple of weeks out of my life. That's the thing. Those addictive games, they can do that, right? That's
why I don't play any.
Yeah, well, you recall me asking you when I got first down here, I'm like, hey Tommy, you want to join us? You're like, I can't, Roland, because I'm too addictive, and then I'll spend all of my time playing games. And I'm like,
yeah, I had to stop. I respect that. Okay, I did buy that last Doom game that came out, the Eternals or whatever it was, just because I wanted to play it. And the roller coaster, it's not roller coaster, it's forgot what the name of the thing was, but yeah, I think the last thing that my wife actually let me buy was the all of the Guitar Hero game.
Oh yeah.
She thought that was fun to play.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm too. Remember, that's before I started doing comics. That's the reason why I went to college, was to get my degree in programming, so I could actually write games. That's what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And I just stayed up all night, skip work, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I was way too addicted to games, so I just had to stop.
And that things about games that they get you to that point where you're just like, okay, I just need to reach this thing, and then I'll go to bed. I need to accomplish this, and then I'll go to bed. I need to do this task or this level, right?
And you see the sun coming up, and you're like, I gotta be at work at 9:00, and I haven't gone to bed yet.
Pop says EverQuest was my game. Now I play DDO online and Champions with Doc.
Yeah.
I played some Champions. We played a lot of City of Heroes. We played
that's what I was playing with you guys for a little bit, and I was like, oh, I need to quit playing this game.
Yeah. So
but no, I probably played way more console games. So while I think I'd rather play PC games or computer games on the computer, in reality, I've played way more console.
Talking about the addictive qualities of them, I think for me, it's easier to put down a PC game. It's easier to put down a console game and walk away from it than a PC game, because I'm sitting at my PC, right, and I'm not going anywhere. So I have to hit the off button, and then I'm still sitting there, right? So it's easier for me to put the console game down and walk away. Logan says same thing happened with me in Hogwarts. Yeah. I've only ever returned, and I know there's a window on Steam where you can.
We lost you. It's a good pose, though, Roland. I like it.
Looks like he's about to hit a high note.
Whoa!
Mamma mia.
There he is. You're back. I like that pose. Did you see the pose you were in?
I didn't know. What was it? Yeah. Well, it's funny because I'm sitting here talking, and then suddenly I saw my little screen go black, and I'm like, and I said, oh, can y'all hear me? And then Mike's screen went black, and then your screen went black. I'm like, okay, no one can hear me now.
You should have heard what Mike said about you. Oh, my God.
Yeah. So Scott has a comment question for us. Oh, let me get some of these first. Pop says, I do confess to loving Fallout, although I'm not a shooter guy. And then he says, we need a screenshot of that. I'm not a big shooter guy either, but I end up playing a lot of those because those are easy to play with. Yeah, they're easy to play with your pals, right? You all jump on, you form a squad, and then you go do something. So those are easy to do with a group, and so I do some of those, although they're not my favorite kind of game. Oh, I know why I'm having problems now. I hear rain. Yeah, I hear rain. So anytime it rains, it messes the internet up. But I hear rain outside the window now. All right, Scott's got a question for us.
All right.
He says, it's a common question. Who's your favorite artist and writer combo today?
Just recently, I got a combo put back together last week, I think it was Mark Waid and Chris Somney on a Batman and Robin series. That right there was enough to pique, because I don't collect a lot of modern comics, to say the least.
Me either. Look at this.
I'm a huge Somney fan. I'm a huge Chris Somney fan. So
yeah. Well, look at this. I this doesn't often happen, but I gotta call her out. Lolly says, "Amazing professor here. Just wanted to drop in and say hi. Thank you so much. I appreciate those very nice words. Very kind of you to say, and thank you very much for dropping by. Don't forget, you can follow us, right? I would love to have you follow us. Be sure to hit that like and thumbs up and all that kind of stuff. So thank you very much. So yeah, what about you? I'm with you, Mike. I don't read a whole lot of modern Marvel and DC, so I don't have a whole lot of opinions on that. Any other? Actually, there's some here that make me think, oh yeah, I forgot about that. Any others? Did I interrupt you with this? I think my question was that I got excited because I saw a student post. So,
as far as the combos that I know right now, I saw that on some comic news last week or week before, and it's like again they did some great Daredevil work. And I was and Captain America, and so Somney does a Battober every October. He does a Bat Image every day in October.
Really?
He's been doing it for 4 or 5 years. And it's like, DC, are you stupid? This is the guy you need to have an all Batman book. I would buy this book. But yeah, this is the first time he's ever been on a Batman book for DC.
Huh.
I mean, it's money in the bank if you ask me.
Yeah.
And like I said, so it's a buy for me. So yeah, right now, as far as a current guy, that combo is something I'm focusing on right now. As far as older team ups, it's it's a list. Marv Wolfman, George.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, as far as classics go, I mean, you could go so many different ways.
Tommy?
I follow books. I don't really follow a particular artist, and I haven't really gone a bit. And I think it's. I say this every time this kind of subject comes up, because we've started Kablam. I see so many comics a day in a week's time.
Yeah,
it's a 500-600 different 600 comics. So it's like, at some point it's like I don't even go to the shop anymore, because I just got to get away from, and then then I'm working on my books, and then your book, the Silverline books. I just don't want to see other people's books.
Yeah.
It's a hard question for me. Like I every time I see a Star Wars book, whoever's doing it, I'll pick it up for a while, but I couldn't tell you who was working on it, because I just like looking at it. I like Star Wars. Spider-Man stuff, I'll just keep picking those Spider-Man books up, regardless of who's working on them. I couldn't tell you who was working on the last little bit series that I read. It's just because I'm following the characters more than the people that are doing the books. Now I got a lot of friends that do comics, so all of my buddies, but that's not what the question was.
Right. Yeah. Pop says for him it's Baron and Shannon. Mike Baron, can't remember Shannon's first name, but I know he's Kelsey Shannon. Yeah, thank you. Baron's worked with I thought he was going to work again with Jeff Butler there for a while, and I think he's talked to Stephen Butler about doing another Badger thing. Stephen worked with him for a while. And I don't put words in my mouth, but I think I recall Stephen telling me something about that.
There's talks going on.
Scott says this, he's looking forward to that. My buttons are going kind of slow here. Pop says the Nexus Scourge book looks amazing. Yeah, it does.
It's good. It's good. I got it.
Is it? I hate to say this, but Rude did a Nexus book, and I didn't like that first one he did. I just didn't like it. Looked beautiful, but I'm just like, it's not working for me. And I hate to say that, but
Baron's Nexus of sorts.
Yeah, and so I know that the two of them have kind of a split ownership. Kind of, I don't know their intimate details, but I know that Baron can do his Nexus and Rude can do his.
Exactly.
And I bought Rude's first one. I think he's funding another one right now, but I'm just like, I think I'm going to pass this one up because I didn't like that first one. Logan says, anything Mike Mignola writes or draws. There you go. Pop says, Christgau, Acevedo, Six Gun Gorilla is another perfectly matched writer-artist combo. Scott says, my favorite artists are Darwin Cook and Neil Adams.
There you go.
Yep. And of course, both of them are no longer around. Scott says, okay, artists and writers that inspire your work. Okay, that's a good one. I like that because I'm kind of with Mike. I would think if you're asking me combos, all of my examples are going to be from days of yore. I think the Claremont Byrne X-Men, some of the best X-Men ever produced. And I know Jim Lee came along after that. I get that. I hear that. I understand that, right? You don't have to explain it to me, but I still think the Claremont Byrne X-Men is just incredible. Englehart Perez, Avengers, just incredible. It's really what got me hooked. And of course, Mike mentioned Wolfman Perez as well. I think anything the two of them did was amazing. Pop, without Baron, it's just another book. And I talking about Nexus, and I agree. Even though again, Steve Rude is a phenomenal artist.
Amazing.
It just wasn't the same without Baron's story. I think. Logan then says, oops, no, I don't want to. Says Perez, Wolfman, John Romita Jr. and Claremont. Yeah, those are some good ones. So all right, so guys, back to the question here is artists and writers that inspire your work.
Byrne, Miller.
Yeah,
definitely Will Eisner. Definitely Will Eisner. Once I discovered Will Eisner, it was.
Yeah.
You discover Frank Miller, and then you discover where Frank Miller comes from, and then you see Will Eisner's work, and then you're just changed.
Yeah.
It's Kirby. It's all that little block of creativity, and then you just find yourself lost. And you're gleefully lost in the worlds that they created. And of course, it makes you want to do it. Makes you want to pick up a pencil and see what you can do.
Yeah.
Heck, like I said. I said Darwin Cook. Scott said Darwin Cook. Once he came on the scene, he may not have been like when I was a teenager. You had Byrne and Miller, but I was in my 20s when I discovered Darwin Cook, and he's just as influential as those other guys.
Yeah,
because it's such an impact on. I mean, there's such creativity there.
Yeah. Tommy's already kind of answered this one, hadn't you? Yeah.
No. It's for my style of inking. Is it's all of those clean penciler inker guys, like everybody that did all that Spider-Man stuff. Actually, I was pulling up my phone because I had already made a little notes of my influences, so that way, Roland's laughing because he knows that I don't remember names very well, and so I have written them down. But so that way Roland can't get me whenever this, like if we ever do a panel or whatever, I always pull this out real quick just so I can fresh because I just don't remember. I'm terrible with names. I'm really bad. But just anybody from the 80s and 90s that had really nice, clean ink style is what I like. And so the people that I've written down, of course, is Randy Emberlin, Joe Rubenstein, Bob McLeod, all those guys that just inked those really solid, clean lines. Those were so people, their pencilers that they had was the Dale Keowns and the Eric Larsons and all those guys, and even from the Mark Bagley type stuff, and the people that have inked Steven and stuff, because it was Steven and Mitch is what helped me get that clean look that I have today. So it's those guys. But I always, of course, I liked all the stuff when I was a kid and things. I didn't really know who was doing what book, because like I said earlier, it was more of the book that I was following rather than the, it's not until I started going to conventions with Roland and Steven and them, like, these are the guys that drew those books that you like. And I'm like, oh, there's those guys. Oh, I didn't know
those. People make those.
They're still alive, those guys. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So
feel bad answering this one because I don't draw inspiration from a lot of modern writers or artists. I can look at them and I can appreciate some of the stuff they do. Most of the stuff for me, this is me personally, right? So this is no one else's. I don't represent anybody but me. I look through the Marvel stuff. And I find it also uninspiring.
The current stuff.
Yeah, the current stuff. I mean, the current stuff, and I find it so uninspiring. And then I'll see independent stuff, and the artwork, right, will make me go, "Wow, this looks great! It's fantastic! A cool concept or a cool title." And then I'll plop down some money and take it home, and I'll read it, and I'll go, man, what a disappointment. It sounded cool, but the execution was not very good, or maybe the person doesn't know how to tell a story, and so it just was like a nice image book. It was really pretty, but no substance, and I sometimes wonder if there's some of that's where that's from, is that people are inspired by these early 90s image books that look great, but you read them and you go, what the heck was that, right?
They're now in the 50-cent box.
Right,
somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think a lot of the problems. I think a lot of problems with the modern stuff that I find is I think a lot of these guys, referencing earlier talking about DC and rebooting, I think a lot of these writers can't get out of their own way. Yeah, I think they're so wrapped up in their legend or their whatever that they can't see that the story is more important than what it makes them look like.
Right.
These guys they're comics sales have never been lower.
Oh man.
But you have this group of writers and creators that wanted to be about them. All the people that we were just talking about, it was a job to them, plus they loved it.
Yes.
It was their job to put out a monthly comic and be the best it could be.
Yeah.
Today, a lot of the things that's been going on for the last 15 or 20 years, a lot of the modern stuff, those guys can't get out of their own way. Yeah. They want to be something. They want to be Alan Moore. It's like, I just want a story from you. Right. If you become something like Alan Moore, great.
Right.
But get me there first. I don't want you to talk yourself up first. And then, you got to show me. I don't want to be told you're great. Right. Show me you're great.
Yeah.
And like I said, that's the problem. When you see these reboots from DC and Marvel, they just can't get it out of their own way. It's just, give me a good story. Don't give me a gimmick. Don't give me an event. Just give me a story.
Yeah. You guys probably remember back in the day, we bought comics because they were a story. We found them on Sprax or in the comics, and it was a story that it was a cover, a cool cover that caught our attention, that reached out and went, hey, pick me up. And then you picked it up, right? And then you flip through it. You're like, oh, this looks cool. I'm going to take it home. And it was the story that brought you back looking for the next one. It wasn't a gimmick, right? So
some of these stories now are more corporate stories, where they're told.
For Marvel and DC, absolutely,
Yeah. This is what you have to write, regardless of what the agenda is they're trying to get across and all that kind of stuff. And
or we need you to do this, and so they're instructed to go do that, right?
And sometimes it's all about trademark and copyrights, trying to keep those, alive and moving. So
Yeah. There's several comments here, fellas. I missed. Let's catch up on them here. Scott says, anytime I find a Darren Cook book or art, I try to snag it. I'm a big fan. Fell in love with his art about a year before he passed. R.I.P. Mr. Cook. Agreed with that. Logan says, Mike Parabeck, Mike Waringo.
Great work.
Great work. Fantastic stuff. Infrafan, what's up, fan? Thanks for swinging by here. He said, inking is such an underrated job. They can save artwork with talent and destroy it without talent. You are absolutely right. Tommy and I talk about that a lot. We haven't talked about it as much recently, but a lot of times when we're biking, we'll talk about the different kind of inking and how a lot of there's a lot of people are skipping inks now, and they're just going straight from the pencils, turning up the dark on the Photoshop, and then they're painting it. And
telling the penciler just to draw a little more detail in it and just skip the inking step.
Yeah. Scott said, "I'll take the puppy for a walk." Good talking with you, fellas. Scott, if you're already walking the dog, thank you for hanging out with us, Scott. It was a pleasure.
I'm hoping your puppy can talk to you, Scott.
That's right. Yeah.
See if he wants to have long of a walk he wants. You can talk to him about it.
Every friend says, I hate to say it, but most modern artists are the ones who grew up wanting to redo Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane. You may be right there.
I see a lot of it.
Yeah, you may be right. That may be the case. And the thing about it is, if they can draw like those artists, that's fine, right? Because those are McFarlane and Lee are super talented. But the problem comes with the stories a lot of times. For me, when you're talking about independent comics, right? You can look at a great looking independent comic, but then you read it. I think I've said this on the stream before. It's like I remember picking up one independent comic. I read through the whole thing and realized I didn't know the name of the main character, and so I looked back through it looking for it. Not once was the main character's name mentioned. So I couldn't even tell you who it was, just because
they did. It was on the front of the book on the title.
I don't think so, but I don't.
Oh, okay.
I can't say that for sure. But that's just storytelling 101. I mean, that you should never do that. But I think part of that is a lot of. I shouldn't say a lot.
That's the writer's fault, right?
It is right. It's absolutely 100% the writer's fault. Yeah, and I blame a lot of the poor independent comics on the writers, not the artists, because the writers just don't know how to tell stories, and they put too much on the artist, But it comes from the idea of television. Well, we want to show, don't tell everything. Well, okay, you're not a TV show, you're a comic book. You got to do some of this stuff for your audience, right?
A little bit. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. Everfan also says individual stories.
Said it a million times. You don't walk into a room and say, "Hey, Renee, how you doing? What's going on, Renee?" And Renee goes, "Hey, Tommy, it's good to see you. What do you want for?" Yeah. But you have to do that in a comic.
You have to do it in a comic. Yeah, because otherwise you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Everfan says individual stories at that. Now, if you miss one issue of anything, that's it. Well, Infrafan, I am pretty happy to tell you that if you find a Silverline comic, you're not going to find that. We are working hard to make sure, even though we're working on miniseries right now, we're working hard to make it so that if you pick up the second issue, you're going to understand what happened in issue 1 without being totally lost. Now, because you're a collector and a comic book geek, you're going to want to go back and pick up that first issue, right? Because you have to complete the set. But we're working hard to make sure that happens. Logan says, what Louise and Walt did with X Factor was some serious solid work. I miss the old days. You're right. Absolutely. That was X Factor was fantastic when Walt and Louise were on there. Yeah. They were a good team. Vic Do, what is up, Vic? Haven't seen you in a while. Vic says, hello, everybody. Good to see you here, Vic. Hey, and it's Hyper. He's always got our back. Hyper says, like and subscribe, kids. Wherever you are right now, whatever platform you're listening on, I'm going to ask all of you to stop for just a moment. Make sure that you go like and subscribe and follow and do all that stuff. There's a whole bunch of you watching right now, so I need to see those numbers go up, right? So please go do that. Scott either walked the dog real quick or he didn't go when he said he was going.
The dog said, I don't have to go, Dad. Let me back in. See, those talking dogs. That's what we all need, the talking dog.
Scott says, I totally recommend the book Superboys. It's about the creators of Superman, Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. Great stuff. I haven't heard of that one, but that sounds like a good one.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Vic Deuce says, make your characters known. That's basic. You are absolutely right, Vic. It's again, that's storytelling 101. Hyper says, look for Silverline Comics in your favorite comic shop and ask them to carry the full line. You are correct, Hyper, and thank you for reminding everyone.
I wonder if Hyper Potato has the link to the Kickstarter. Or not the Kickstarter, the crowdfunder.
I bet he does. It was Pops posted it earlier.
Yeah.
Infrafan says, oh, I know, Roland, and I appreciate it. Well, thank you, Infrafan. I appreciate you recognizing that. Talking about, the stories in Silverline. So yeah, I didn't get to ask a whole lot of those questions. Those were good questions. Let's see. Let's see if I can find another one real quick here. All right, here's a couple silly ones, right? Sticky hands or slimy feet? Would you rather have sticky hands or slimy feet? I saw Mike's eyebrows go whoop.
Well, I had sticky hands a minute ago eating barbecue. Yeah, so that didn't bother me too bad.
Would you rather have, not rather not have, but rather have?
Which would you rather have? Would you rather have sticky hands or slimy feet?
Yeah, sticky hands. Yeah, because I've got a damaged foot from an accident and stuff, and I don't like it being all yucky. So sticky hands. Yeah.
I'm gonna also say sticky hands, mostly because I don't like stuff going through my toes. Right?
Yeah.
It's like some people like to walk in the mud and barefooted. I like going barefooted, right? But I don't want to walk in the mud because I don't want the mud squishing up between my toes.
Yeah. And I've seen your feet, Roland. We don't want to clean your feet for you.
Yeah. So how about this? How about toothpaste flavored ice cream or ice cream flavored toothpaste?
Wait a minute, what? You messed my head up.
Ice cream flavored toothpaste.
Yeah.
I don't know how Mike figured that out so quick. I got to run the toothpaste. Say it again.
Toothpaste flavored ice cream or ice
cream flavored. No, the not ice cream flavored toothpaste. No.
Really?
I think I'd rather have the other way. I don't want my ice cream to taste like toothpaste.
Well, then you want the
whichever one that one was.
You want the toothpaste. You can brush your teeth with ice cream. That's what it would be like.
That's the one I want. That's the one I want. I don't know. My head's hurting. Sorry.
All right, here's a good one here. Peanut butter on pizza or ketchup.
That's the other one's worse.
Ketchup on ice cream.
Oh God.
Those are both
ketchup on ice cream because peanut butter would kill me. So
are you allergic to peanut butter?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be bad.
Neither.
I had to go peanut butter on pizza for me because ketchup on ice cream.
No, that sounds terrible. And I love me some ketchup, but no.
Logan says mint chocolate chip, baby. It's toothpaste, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is
Oh, you're getting nasty now.
Brush your teeth with mustard, or would you rather wash your hair with mayonnaise?
Mayonnaise.
The mayonnaise. That doesn't seem like it'd be too bad. I've actually heard of people doing that before.
Yeah, I think I have too.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'd rather. I like mustard, so I'd rather brush my teeth with mustard. I don't want mayonnaise in my hair. That just makes me think it's all greasy.
Well, what do you think the conditioner is?
Look at Hyper has always got our back, Tommy.
There you go. That's what I was saying. He knew everything else. I figured he'd have it.
Yep. Thank you, Hyper.
Thank you.
There's a link, folks. For those of you who are wondering, what is that link? That's the link to the campaign. Get over there and back Divinity. We showed you the pages at the top of the hour, so get over there and back that We still have not yet hit our funding goal, so y'all can help us get there. Lots of original art.
Give us another one that's not so gross.
All right, okay. Lick a frog or hug a snake?
Frog.
The frog, yeah.
Oh, you want to lick a frog? No.
I don't go near snakes. No snakes.
No.
No snakes.
I'd rather hug a snake. I'm not licking a frog. That's I've seen where they've been.
Yeah, but some of you could find one of those frogs that makes you kind of loopy. That'd be pretty good.
I thought you were saying you were going to find one of those frogs that turns into a princess.
Oh, yeah, that too. That would be good. The Princess and the Frog. That was a Disney movie. That was pretty fun.
He said, "Thanks for the reminder, Tommy."
Yeah, thank you.
Let's see.
Right, not gross one.
Mike is right. The Lord cursed the serpent. I'm not going near them. No. You got a point there, but licking a frog? You guys must not have the same kind of ponds they have around where I grew up.
You can wash it off first, and then it might keep you high. That'd be good. Kill you. Too, but either one might kill you.
Let's see here. Would you rather drink milk from a shoe or eat cereal with water?
I've actually eaten cereal with water, so I'll do that.
Yeah. I think I would do that as well. I think I'd rather eat cereal with water. Just means it would still be soggy. It just wouldn't be as sweet.
Yeah.
It could be
a brand new boot. That would be good. It's a shoe. It just depends on what the shoe looks like.
Yeah, maybe. You can smell, if you ever smell a shoe, though, even a brand new one, though, you get that smell of leather and everything.
Yeah, but water cereal? I think I would just eat the cereal before I put water in.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd need I love dry cereal. I think I would just eat the cereal.
Yeah, it depends on which cereal, though, for me, I think. Some dry cereal is good, but not all. Would you rather have a hot sauce toothpaste or pickle juice face wash?
All right, nothing with pickle juice. So I'm doing the hot sauce one. I don't care what the pickle juice one is.
Hot sauce.
I'm not drinking. What's pickle juice?
Pickle juice. I know what you're talking about.
Vinegar. I'm not drinking vinegar. You're not supposed to drink.
You're not listening to me. Pickle juice face wash. Face wash. So you ain't got to swallow it. You just wash your face in it.
Why would you do that?
So that you don't brush your teeth with hot sauce.
If you had to do one or the other, okay, all right, okay. I should shut up and let you finish the thing. Yeah, I'll do the pickle juice on my face.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing pickle juice on my face.
Like
you said hot sauce.
That's a hot sauce.
People that do the pickle juice for cramps and stuff, and it's like you're drinking vinegar. You're not supposed to drink that much vinegar.
All right, would you rather have a pig nose or would you rather have rabbit ears?
Oh, rabbit ears. I love Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. Well, I've already been told I got big ears. So I think
is that why you got the hair growing over the side?
Hey, look. Part of the reason I used to have long hair as a kid was to cover up my ears. True story. Yep. Of course, this was the 1970s, so long hair was cool.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with the long ears because I could cover it up with some hair. I used to have a mullet at one time. I could do that. I could work it out.
And I don't want to pig nose.
Yeah, not much you can do with that. That's just
yeah.
Mike's thinking Preser idiot.
Let's see. Some of these are just silly. Trampoline for bed or a slide?
Yes, some of them.
Trampoline for bed or a slide for stairs?
Trampoline for what?
A bed.
A trampoline for
or
bed
or a slide for stairs?
I like the slide for stairs. That'd be fun.
Me too.
Yeah.
I mean, a trampoline for bed, you just gotta go and jump on it for a little while, but then you go, your stairs though. If you could just slide down the stairs every time, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you rather live at a movie theater or live in a mall?
Theater.
I think a mall. Well, if you could get into the stores, I think of the mall.
Well, most malls have
As has a
theaters,
movie
right?
theater.
Hey, theaters have recliners.
They do, yeah.
Yeah.
So you could go to a romance movie and just go to sleep then.
Well, and I guess it would if you go by a lot of the malls that are out now, they're all kind of closed up, so there may not be much to go do it in the mall.
That's true. That is true. Yeah. Let's see if I can find some others here. All right. So here's some movie fan questions. Okay. So comedy or horror?
Comedy.
Comedy for me as well.
Yeah, I'd rather do a comedy, but I do love my horror movies.
Yeah, I know you do. You and I were supposed to go see the one about the dancer, the doll that danced and killed people.
Yeah, I know Megan or whatever.
Megan, yeah.
Because I've not seen Megan yet.
So
and it's free on something. I see it.
Oh, really? Well, that was the one I said, look, I'll go with you because BJ didn't want to see. She didn't like horror.
Yeah.
So, and I don't watch a whole lot, but I'm like, yeah, I'll go see that with you.
Yeah, they had the Dancing Megans at this past year's Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. That was fun watching all those girls dancing. That was pretty funny. There was a bunch of Megans dancing. It was crazy.
These are some easy ones here. Marvel or DC? Remember, these are movies here.
Oh, for movies, Marvel.
Yeah, Marvel. I think so too.
Wonder Woman, they've been kind of crappy.
Yeah.
And I think hers was kind of crappy. It's just she was pretty. So
yeah, she was. Well, now I did like the first movie. I like the first movie, but yeah, Gal Gadot is easy on the eyes. Absolutely.
Aquaman was pretty cool.
Yeah.
The first one.
My problem with the second one is that it felt like the same movie.
It just a continuation. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay.
I like that Momoa guy. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do too.
I wish he would do a good Marvel movie.
Yeah. Someone me. I think Brett was telling me that from Guardians of the Galaxy, the big muscle guy from Guardians.
Batista.
Yeah, but Batista has been apparently they're talking to him about playing a role in a DC movie. Yeah, I think did he say Lobo? I think he said Lobo.
He's a pretty good actor. It's crazy, but he's turned out to be a pretty good guy. Kind of like The Rock's a fairly decent actor.
I think so too. I think he gets a lot of shade tossed at him, but I enjoy. I enjoy The Rock.
He does kind of play the same stuff over and over, but it's still he's not terrible.
All right, how about this one? Animated or live action?
Animated.
I'm a both.
Yeah,
I'm a both. I love if it's traditional animation where it's hand drawn, that kind of stuff, but they don't make a whole lot of that anymore. But the 3D animated stuff's like, it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
but
it looks like a computer made it.
Yeah.
Yesterday,
a lot of it's great, but
yesterday, Me TV Tunes had an all day of Bugs Bunny. It was 24 hours of Bugs Bunny. Now, did I sit through all of it? No, but I sure enjoyed what I watched.
I know.
What? So the question: was it the uncensored Bugs Bunny?
Nothing. I didn't see anything that I thought was, that they cut, or it was.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of politically incorrect in Bugs Bunny. It's just average humor.
No, I listen. I'm not disagreeing with you, but they do chop. They have chopped some of that stuff off because
I definitely think chopped some of them.
Yeah, some of the gun stuff and that kind of thing.
When Bugs was cross-dressing and all that kind of
stuff.
Yes. That was full of that. I didn't see anything that was covered in that.
Oh, that's good. That's because those are so funny.
They were funny.
Hilarious.
I tell people to this day, what little bit about classical music I know, I learned from Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny.
Absolutely. I still, every time I hear, I think it's the Barber of Seville, I see Bugs Bunny, massaging the bald-headed dude, right?
Come in for a chop. Let me hit your mop.
Da 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 da.
We're pretty sad.
We are.
We know it's good.
Yeah.
Let comedy be comedy. If you don't like it, then watch something else. Watch it, but it's supposed to be satire-y, kind of silly.
Right.
Quit being so uppity about everything.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like they're really doing these things.
Well, you know, it's funny because, of course, you guys are of a pretty similar demographic as me. But, you know, one of the things, there's a couple of things you used to always say is that, you know, Bug Bunny and Roadrunner, and I never thought you could drop an anvil on somebody and they be gay. I never thought you could fall off of a cliff and walk away as an accordion.
Or hand somebody a stick of dynamite and let it blow up.
Right. Yeah.
You know, I never looked at the Human Torch thinking I needed to pour gasoline on myself to become. You know?
That's right. No, I didn't think that would work. You know.
So I tease my son Brett, right, who is he's 23, about to be 24. And I forget what he's not a, what is he? He's not a millennial. What's the next one?
Gen Z.
Gen Z. I said, you know, Brett, because I was talking about how dumb his generation is, and I said, and he was like, "Well, we got more information than your generation at the tip of our fingertips." I said, "You're absolutely right." I said, "You're right. You do. You." I said, "I had to go to the encyclopedia to look mine up." I said, "You're right." I said, "But Brett, when I got a car, the instruction manual told me how to change my spark plugs. Your instruction manual tells you not to drink the battery acid." I said, "No." That. So yeah.
We're going to get ourselves in trouble by.
I know. I hope not. So I'm not sure that we have too many in Brett's demographic. If you're in that demographic, pipe up and say hello. I don't think we have too many watching us live anyway in that demographic.
I think Vic are safe.
Yeah, Vic. Yeah, Vic.
I'm talking about you, Vic.
But I think Vic would. We've seen Vic on here enough to know that he probably agrees with us. That would be my guess. All right. So what about this one? Science fiction or fantasy?
Science fiction.
I'm going to go science fiction too. I like fantasy, but I prefer spaceships to unicorns.
Yeah.
Okay, if that was the question, yes, yeah, I would prefer that. But you know, I still like my Star Wars fantasy, science fantasy fiction. Is that what it would be called?
Well, you know, that's funny because Brett and I got into this conversation just yesterday, talking about what makes science fiction, right? Is because we're talking about, you know, what's science fiction, what is fantasy, and there is a category called science fantasy, in which a lot of the stuff in the sci-fi is not necessarily hard science, right? Like Star Wars, right? Of course, I told him, I said, you know, but in our day when it came out, we still call it science fiction, but we called it space opera. You know,
right.
it was space opera science fiction, not science fantasy. Yeah. What do y'all think about that?
No, I think that's what it is. I like both. I like my Star Trek and I like my Star Wars. I know that they're two different kind of science fiction stuff, but I prefer both of those over The Hobbit. But I love The Hobbit. But if I had to pick, I would pick the sci-fi with, you know, if it's straight to sci-fi where the computer's a real computer, or the sci-fi where the computer's just this fake AI robot that's walking around that can't exist and it's just kind of.
So for me, the big difference comes, I think, in magic. Once you start, I can deal with some fantasy, but once you start getting all the magic involved, I'm like, yeah, you lose me a little bit there, because it's hard for me to go with that. I realize it, all fantasy does this, but it's kind of hard for me to go with the, abracadabra, expector Reynes, boom, you have long hair. Instead, science fiction implants now I have long hair. I prefer kind of the science fiction. Sorry, Mike, I'm not. It's not a stab at your hair. I prefer I prefer the science fiction aspect, the science aspect of it, rather than a magic aspect of it.
Yeah.
That's just me. Okay. Let's see. Oh, all right, Tommy, you're gonna like this one here.
Uh-oh.
Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings?
Harry Potter.
At this point in time, Harry Potter. I like Harry Potter more than I do Lord of the Rings, but I love Lord of the Rings and stuff too. But I prefer the. I think maybe would be more of like Harry Potter or the Game of Thrones kind of, because there's magic involved with the monsters and the this, that, and the other. To me, that would be a harder one to pick because actually when we're done tonight, my background stuff. When we're done tonight, you can't tell because it's
it still looks like you got paneling back there.
Yeah, we're gonna go finish. Well, I think tonight's the last episode of the new Game of Thrones thing. What's it called?
Okay.
The Song of Ice and Fire or whatever it's called. Whatever it's called.
Yeah.
But I really do like. I like both, but probably Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's because Renee likes it so much, and whenever I can get her involved with stuff that I like, I'll just keep going with it.
Yeah. Lord of the Rings for me. I like the.
Yeah, you don't like Harry Potter.
I'm not a big Harry Potter fan. No.
I knew you were going to say that.
I'm not a Harry Potter hater.
Yeah, you do. Every time we talk about it, you say how much you hate it.
Well, and in full confession for all of those, I only read books.
We lost him again. Now he's doing this. So, Mike, which of the Harry Potter books did you like the best?
I like the first one the best. I enjoyed that one. As far as just the introduction of the universe and the introduce, the whole thing, the premise, I thought it was pretty good.
I guess a better question would be the books or the movies?
The books.
Oh, yeah.
You talking about for Harry Potter?
Nothing wrong with
much more than I like about the books as far as what I like when I read something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, as far as the information I like to get.
Yeah, I think that's pretty common. I don't know how much of before I ended y'all heard. I've only read the first Harry Potter book, and I didn't read the rest of them. I've seen all the movies and enjoyed all of them, but the one that has all the whining in it.
They did a lot of that.
The big camping adventure one, like it was the half of one, right? Where they split it in half.
Yeah.
One. Seven.
Yeah.
Not 8. Not the final.
It was a Deathly Hallows Part 1 or whatever.
Yeah.
I called it Harry Potter's big boring snoring camping adventure.
That did drag on a
yeah.
bit.
But I enjoyed all the other movies. I thought they were fine. All right, one more question, then we'll call it a night here. Let me see if I can find a good one here. Okay, this one's kind of interesting. Would you rather be able to be a time traveler, or would you rather be able to have space exploration?
Time. I want to see everything.
Yeah.
So would you go forward, or would you? Would you go forward, or would you go back?
Backwards. There's just so much history I'd want to see.
Yeah.
Future is what it is. I mean, but I could document and know where I'm going if I went to the past. I could know the events that I want to see. It'd be like, getting a map and just saying, okay, this is what I'm doing. And time definitely.
Yeah. Same for me. Time travel. I just there's too much of history that I enjoy too much that I would love to go and see. I want to see Dad. I want to see Dad. I want to see these. For me also, family. I want to. I would want to see what I want to peek in on what my great grandfather. Let me see what they're doing. Where did that come from? How did I get here?
Slip them a little note. Buy Apple stock.
Buy Apple stock. Yeah. Create something and call it a computer.
There you go. Here's an idea.
Yeah.
Change things. Yeah. I think it would be safer to go back than to go forward. I mean, you could just go forward. Who knows? You go forward a month from now, and the world may be blown up.
Yeah.
That was short. I had the power to time travel, and I just died immediately. That's not cool. Never know. At least if you went back, you probably could pick some place that's not going to have a building where you appear by accident. You try and time travel into a wall.
I found the end of the world.
That's right. There it is. It's over.
Yeah.
What can you? I guess it would depend on what you want to accomplish from it.
Yeah.
Right. I guess that would be more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I think space exploration. I'm incredibly interested in that, of course, but I think it's just a big emptiness. That's me. I know all these people are like, "Oh, it's so big, there has to be life." I don't think so.
I just don't like the idea of being stuck out there. I love the idea of doing it, but I just don't like the idea of being stuck out there. It's the same. I know this is not the same thing, but it's all the I got a scuba license and all that kind of stuff, and talk to people about cave diving and stuff. And I'm not gonna go into a cave where I get stuck.
Yeah.
That's when I have very few fears, as you know, with all the stupid biking stuff that we being
I know.
I can't get out of. Not something, for whatever reason, things that I have an idea about being I can't get out of. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I just talk too much about my internal terrors. Sorry.
Yeah. Everybody's making notes. Tommy is afraid of getting stuck.
That's right. Getting stuck somewhere in something that he can't get out of.
Not going to be cutting your arm off anytime soon, right?
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, that'll be our last question. Anything else, guys? Any other bit of news or anything you guys want to?
Yeah, we got the current the current Kickstarter. If I keep saying that, but I got to put a note up here. It's not the current crowdfunding thing got shipped, right?
Oh yeah, you're talking about
Silverline Team Up 2.
Silverline Team Up 2. Yep, it was shipped. It was shipped to everyone except for, and I got to do the digitals if some of you've got it watching the digitals. Sorry, I forgot about those before. They're not going to get done this week. I don't have access to them this week. But all the physicals, everybody except for those who wanted who got artwork from Pete. And I'm waiting from that artwork for the pencil artwork from Pete. So everybody else has theirs. So
they got those beautiful metallic books.
Yes. Yep. And
Roberta got hers, and she was like,
"I loved it.
I thought they were I knew that they looked cool, but I didn't realize how cool that they
yes.
looked."
Yeah. And it is true. You gotta see them. That's why I love that we got the video, but they're just hard to see, hard to appreciate how good they are until you can actually see it and hold it in your hands.
Yeah, I think we finally got the material to do the metallics the way that we want to do.
Yeah,
they're looking really good.
Yeah. And when Tommy says "we," he means Kablam. So,
those Kablam people, whoever those guys are.
They look fantastic though. So yeah, absolutely. So everybody but a couple of you for the Silverline Team Up should be, if you don't have them already, you should be receiving them real soon. So we'd love to see we'd love to hear what you guys think about it. I know that we're pretty excited I'm excited about it. I know Tommy was excited about it. Roberta was, Pete was. Yeah. So we sure love to hear your opinion. Mike actually did I think I said thank you, Mike. If I didn't, thank you. A nice little promotion in the Millerton Gazette. So that was very nice to see. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. it's a fun kind of comic for me. It's a fun kind of story that I like to read, and that's what I'm also trying to do in what we do. So,
that's the answer to my question that you asked me. My writer penciler thing is Man in Clinton.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'll take that. How do you do that?
I don't know. I don't do that because
I'll take that. I have a daughter, so so I'll do that.
She needs to teach us how to do that, right? Because otherwise we look really stupid.
Right? Yeah. All right then. So yeah. So also don't forget we do have the Divinity campaign going on.
Yep.
You guys jump over there and take a peek at it. You know, I know a lot of folks have told me, a lot of our backers have told me that the funds are tight, but you know, maybe if you've been a backer before and you hadn't backed this one, maybe skip a Big Mac meal this week and get the digital so that you can still help us out, help us reach our goal, and you can still help us reach funding. And you know, you're probably going to do yourself some favors by skipping the Big Mac anyway. So get on over there, and at least you can do is share it, tell others about it, tell others how what you think of Silverline in the past, of the books that you've read, and encourage them to give us a shot. Okay, on Tuesday, excuse me, that Silverline show on Tuesday, the crew is going to talk about they're here to help you learn how to decipher which genres you are naturally drawn to, and what you should explore to help grow your skills. Which genre of comic should you create? That is Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific. That's 11 p.m. Eastern time. On Wednesday, the Wednesday Whammers are going to have a special guest, Derek Robinson. You probably know the guy's name from being the co-creator of The Boys, which is on the Amazon, and he's also apparently the co-executive producer of The Boys. And those of you who are into comics recognize Derek's name from doing some Nightman. He also did a whole bunch of other comic books, but you know, Nightman's the Ultraverse. So, and he was also the artist for Transmetropolitan with Warren Ellis there. So join the Wednesday Whammers. That's Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know what Pacific time that is. So. And then next week, we're going to have a Divinity closeout party. Barb is going to join us as we are in the final couple of days of Divinity. And those of you who may not be convinced, she's going to be here to be a guest host, as I will be unavailable next Sunday. So she's going to be the guest host for the Divinity closeout party. And if you haven't backed the campaign, this is going to be one of your last chances. And you can ask Barb all the questions there are that you have about Divinity. Anything else, fellas? Pop said yes. He said skip a Big Mac.
There you go.
Skip a Big Mac. Skip a Big Mac and back the campaign.
Absolutely.
Pops, that's going to be a new short. Skip a Big Mac, back the campaign. All right. Anything else, fellas?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, I don't have my wristband here, but you guys remember what we do. Remember to make mine
Silverline. Spill your drink on your laptop. And he didn't press the button because he's frozen again.
Make mine.
And he still hadn't pressed it.
Silverline. You heard me.